So Frank Lloyd Wright's work and principles have been instrumental in modern vernacular architecture. Fallingwater is a great example of representing architecture site coherence and a great inspiration source of my team's design architecture as a mere continuation of its surroundings. Architecture that coexists with the site. The site is independent of the architecture, rather, it defines it. The architecture only serves to highlight the features of the site. Stone gathered from nearby quarry for the walls and black walnut interior furnishings reflect the natural elements of the site. Elements are directly communicating with the rocky, woody characteristics of the site. So, Wright inspired tapestry work was a foundation guide in my team's design for the Center for the Advancement of American Architecture in Mill Run, Pennsylvania. This inspiration really framed the planning of our program spaces. Main program details, we have the education, the retail, and the galleries are connected by a system of paths. And what these paths do is they interweave, strongly connecting these various spaces, like the way seams are woven together to produce design. One attribute of Wright's work was layering, smooth, seamless transition from site to architecture. It was almost a way of just blurring the divider between architecture and not architecture, the ambiguity of architecture and site. My team's design for the center incorporated this attribute, an open central courtyard serving as transitional layer between various program spaces. Also glue that binds these spaces together to form a whole. Most importantly, his focus on organic architecture was our main inspiration. It was really important for us to consider the site tectonics in order to relate our designs to his behavior. So in doing so, we create harmony between architecture and the site. Our model approach to site tectonics by directing each layer gradually with the slope of the topography. So this allows there to be a link with the behavior of the topography, which is a connection Fallingwater accomplished very well. We also delve carefully into the vernacular of Western Pennsylvania, a great focus of rice organic architectural design, and a basis, and also it's a basis of our studio course. We sought to incorporate materials native to and widely used in the region's history. You see, Falling Water is a testimony of the greatness vernacular elements contribute to the overall experience of space. They reflect ambience of the outside. That is what Falling Water does really, really well because it was the source of our inspiration. My team wanted to reflect that experience too, using red oak structures that imitates the forestry and glass signifying the industrial history of the region. We can manifest these natural experience into the architecture. So in manifesting this experience, a person feels this profound sense of immersion. A person visiting then feels soaked into the natural richness and the history of the area. Also, by imitating the natural surroundings that make up the site within the architecture itself becomes a part to the whole, just a continuation of its surrounding, which is the site. So a visitor in the center would then be rightfully immersed into the nature, same way as the architecture is also immersed into the nature. The visitor then feels this same connection with the architecture and the nature, a bond. See, the connection is even more highlighted when visitors just witness the figurative reflection of nature provided by the vernacular materials within the architecture. This sensory experience results in a welcoming mood the person feels about the architecture. And when people feel welcome, that facilitates interactions with others because they also share the same feeling. These in turn promote inclusion and collaboration, which are attributes of a powerful architecture. So what this view is showing is the west end between the display galleries. As you can imagine, the open natural ambience tone complements the overlooking natural scenery. And over here is the major gallery, which, as you can imagine, a welcoming space, just signaled by the heart, and just to relax in admiration of American architecture, which is a field and a field Wright's work represents so highly. And we're inspired by Wright, we're inspired by Fallingwater, and this was our envisioning of a welcoming environment, our interpretation, our interpretation of architecture as a continuation of its surrounding. And I just want to credit my teammates, Ben, Lydia, Reba. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here presenting. Thank you so much. And thank you to Professor Reynolds. Without her help, I wouldn't have been here too. Thank you so much.